Everything was a threat to me.
We saw it, we watched the interview, it was amazing. Then Janet walks around from the screen and we're all just like, oh, what now?
I like keeping a low profile.
But you took all that away from me. With your words. You know, words can kill. I lost everything. Reputation, everything.
Just because, I mean, this was another terrifying thing at the time, but I had my first kiss on the show. My real first kiss.
Okay. The Fresh Prince, a rapper, you know, I have nothing against you or against her. No, this is when I first heard about the show, you know, when auditioning for it and everything, you heard that it's, you know, starring Will Smith.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
Listen up. Tatyana Ali just came through with some tea about her time on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it's hot. Sis had her first kiss on that set, right? But let me tell you, it was anything but romantic with everybody and their mama staring her down. And she's finally speaking up about all the real drama that went down behind the scenes.
There was tension, and I knew that. You know, I was a kid and I knew that. So to see, and I was apprehensive when we knew that was going to happen, because so much has been said, you know, back and forth between different people, not just even between Will and Janet, but between other people too. I didn't know how that was going to be. And when I saw the interview, this is what happened that they didn't show. They kind of cut this out, not on purpose, but, you know, for time, whatever. We saw it, we watched the interview, it was amazing. Then Janet walks around from the screen and we're all just like, oh, what now?
We're talking about that whole mess with Aunt Viv, how Janet Hubert got replaced, Will's shady moves to push her out.
Everything was a threat to me.
And even Alfonso's beef with Janet that had folks picking sides for years. And oh, we ain't done yet. Wait till you hear how Donald Trump showed up on set acting a fool, throwing shade at the script because it didn't have enough jokes for his taste.
I like keeping a low profile.
So, if you think you know everything about the Fresh Prince, buckle up because we're taking you deep into all the secrets, the fights, and what really went down. Tatyana Ali is finally letting it all out. And baby, you do not want to miss this. All right, let's get into one of the juiciest switch-ups in TV history. You had Janet Hubert, the original Aunt Viv, giving us class, sass, and that fire every time she stepped on screen. Then, out of nowhere, she's gone. And Daphne Maxwell-Reid steps in like, hey, y'all, I'm Aunt Viv now.
Oh, honey, I thought we agreed to call him Philip.
Fans were like, hold up, what just happened here? This wasn't just some simple recast. This was drama on top of drama. Now Janet Hubert didn't just walk away. Sis had stories to tell. She always said she felt straight up disrespected and undervalued on that set, like they were just keeping her in the background. And when she tried to renegotiate her contract to get a little more freedom and respect, NBC wasn't having it. She's gone on record in 2013, saying she knew she was critical to the show's success. But in Hollywood, especially back then, feeling valued was rare if you didn't play by their rules. It got even messier when Hubert hit NBC and Will Smith with a lawsuit, claiming the set was a hostile work environment, especially when she was pregnant. She felt pushed out, like they wanted her gone the second she asked for what she deserved.
But you took all that away from me. With your words. You know, words can kill. I lost everything. Reputation, everything.
And it didn't end there. Will wasn't exactly quiet about his feelings either. He went on to call her character the Antichrist in an infamous interview, pretty much fueling the fire. For Janet, that was like throwing gasoline on an already blazing feud. She felt attacked, painted as difficult and demanding, which is a reputation that can haunt any actor, especially a black woman in Hollywood. Will's comments stuck. And for Janet, it seemed like every interview just added to the tension, making it harder for her to move forward in her career. Now let's talk about how Carlton himself, Alfonso Ribeiro, stirred up the pot. Back in 2009, he took to the stage in a stand-up routine and dragged Janet Hubert through the mud, calling her crazy in front of a whole crowd. Oh, he didn't hold back either. He painted a picture of her being tough to work with, saying she clashed with the cast and crew and just made things difficult for everybody on set. So it's no surprise that the rest of the cast kept their distance. But Carlton wasn't done just yet. He had plenty more to say about how Aunt Viv's attitude changed the entire vibe on set. Speaking of bad vibes, let me tell y'all about that time Donald Trump showed up on the set of The Fresh Prince.
Folks, before we go too far, I've got something to tell you.
Yep, he made a little cameo back in the day, but trust, it was anything but smooth. Word is, Trump came in ready to throw his weight around, complaining about his lines like he was the star of the show. He wanted his lines to be funnier, and when he didn't get his way, what did he do? Threw his script on the floor, all dramatic. And guess who had to pick it up? His wife at the time, Marla Maples, on hands and knees, apologizing like he wasn't the one acting up. The crew was left looking at each other like, did that really just happen? Baby, Trump's cameo left a vibe nobody was feeling. Not even the Fresh Prince set was safe from Trump's antics, and his little guest spot left a real bad taste for everyone around. But the real bad taste was still to come for poor Tatyana. Now picture this. Little Ashley Banks, aka Tatyana Ali, was about to have her very first kiss on set. Yep, in front of the whole crew and all them big, bright cameras. As if that wasn't nerve-wracking enough, here come Alfonso, Carlton, and Karen Parsons, Hillary, just peeping from behind the camera, watching her like hawks. You can just imagine the pressure. Tatyana later admitted she was mortified and said she wanted to die with all eyes on her.
Just because, I mean, this was another terrifying thing at the time, but I had my first kiss on the show.
Did you?
Like my real first kiss.
Okay. That's gotta be hard.
And I just remember everybody, people that were not involved in the scene at all, coming to set that afternoon to see.
Oh no.
And I just remember Karen Parsons, who played Hillary Banks, Karen, Alfonso, just like, and you know, we had the cameras on sitcoms are like huge cameras. And I just remember them like looking behind the camera like,
It's one thing to have a first kiss, but a whole other mess when your TV family is out here grinning and giggling at you. Sis was just trying to do her scene, and her so-called family was only making her more anxious. That kind of embarrassment sticks with you.
I can't even think of things to do.
All right, so check this out. After Tatyana's embarrassing first kiss drama, we got to talk about how DJ Jazzy Jeff was getting tossed around like nobody's business. Y'all remember Jazz, right? Will's boy, always clowning, and then, bam! Uncle Phil throwing him out the front door like he was yesterday's trash. Now, here's what you didn't see. Jeff was taking some real hits for those scenes. Like, every time he got chucked out that door, he'd hit the ground hard, bruised up, black and blue, like he was getting into fights just for showing up to work. After a few of those landings, Jeff finally had to put his foot down. He was like, nah, I ain't no stuntman. I'm not doing this no more. So, they ended up calling in a stunt double, because Jeff was done taking the pain just for laughs. I mean, y'all thought it was funny, but my man was feeling every single throw. Sometimes, behind the jokes, there's a whole lot of real pain. Now, let me tell y'all about Karen Parsons, the queen of sass herself, Hillary. When Karen first heard about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she wasn't feeling it at all. She was like, a sitcom with a rapper as the lead? Please. She thought the whole thing sounded silly, and she couldn't see herself in some cheesy cookie-cutter comedy.
The Fresh Prince, a rapper, you know, I have nothing against you or against her. No, this is when I first heard about the show, you know, auditioning for it and everything, you heard that it's, you know, starring Will Smith.
But lucky for us, she gave it a shot anyway. Now here's where Karen put her spin on things. She took that role of Hillary Banks, the spoiled, bougie rich girl, and went all in. She made Hillary not just snobby, but lovable and funny as hell. Karen's little quirks turned Hillary into the character we all came to love, even if we were side-eyeing her for those airhead moments. She made her funny, extra, and straight-up iconic. And the crazy part? Hillary wasn't even supposed to be that bratty. But Karen brought her own twist, and it worked big time. She took a role she wasn't sure about and turned it into pure gold. By season 5, Will Smith felt like The Fresh Prince had run its course. He'd said the show jumped the shark during that season's episode where his character gets shot and Carlton starts carrying a gun. Will wanted to keep things real, but he felt like they were running out of good storylines and heading into territory that didn't match the show's heart. That's when John Amos, known for his role in Good Times, pulled Will aside with some solid advice. He told Will to leave the show on his terms, making sure it went out strong rather than letting it fade. John had seen his own character written off badly, and he didn't want Will to go through that. Will took it to heart and called a cast meeting to announce season 6 would be their last, promising they'd end it with pride and respect for everyone involved. This was no easy choice, but Will knew it was the right one. And that decision helped cement The Fresh Prince as a show that left us wanting more, instead of overstaying its welcome. If you're feeling this breakdown of Fresh Prince drama, hit that subscribe button for more insider stories and tea on your favorite shows. Stay tuned.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right